Peace, peace, peace. Hope everyone having a blessed Saturday. Back with another video. Today, I want to speak on the little Boosie and little Ivy situation. You know, that's him and his daughter. You know, she's a part of the LGBTQ community. I also have a daughter that's a part of that community, so I feel that qualifies me to speak on it. One thing I didn't agree with is not only her bringing it online and not talking to her father, but at one point in the video, she said, folks always asking me why I don't talk to my father. And she said, well, why he don't talk to me or come to me? And I think that's a big misconception with the youth today. You know, it's layers and levels to relationships. You are never on the same level as your parent. Never. That's why Exodus, you can look up many different books in the Bible that tell you to honor thy parents. And it's a commandment from the Lord thy God. Basically telling you to always honor thy parent. You know what the word honor means, right? When you honor someone, you're not on the same level as them. Now, I'm not saying if you're in some kind of messed up relationship where you got some just deranged parent. Now, that's different. But I'm speaking on that situation because it sounded like she almost was putting herself as her dad's equal. And you can't do that. You have to honor that parent. I've seen both videos. I've seen Lil Boosie. And he seems to be old school like I am, you know. And I think the word that he used when he would use the word contaminated, it probably hurt her feelings. But it was a way for her to go about that. You should have spoke to your dad. You can't force anything down someone's throat. You get what I'm saying? And I think if she would have maybe just brought it to him in a real fashion, maybe they could have talked it out. Who knows? From what she said in the video, he has his mind made up and it's set in stone. Me personally, I feel like it's none of our jobs to judge, right? So let me just tell you where I stand on the LGBTQ community. Like I said, I have a daughter that's a part of that community. So with that being said, I love my daughter. I always have and I always will. It's not my position to judge anyone, and it's nobody's position to judge. We can't judge. And me, with it being with my child being a part of that community, it does nothing for the love I have for her. I still love her like I love the rest of my kids because it's just the right thing to do. We all have our own personal relationships with God. And those relationships should and always should be one-on-one, right? We all have to face God for different sins. No sin is worse than the other sin. We like to think that. We like to think that one sin is way worse than this sin. Well, that's just not true. Sin is sin, right? So you can't sit up and judge someone, let's say per se, for their sins, thinking you have the right to do that because you're not God. Right? And for me, on the flip side, with me saying she's not her parent equal, I feel like the brother, as a brother, from one brother to the next, talking to Lil Boosie now, you have to have compassion for your children in a different form today. You know, a lot of us are old school, but I had to learn myself, even with my kids, that I couldn't parent my children like our parents parented us. Excuse me. You know why? The times are different. The children are different. So, you know, when we grew up, it was face forward, as I said in one of my other videos, head down. You didn't ask questions. You asked too many questions. You got that work. You know what I mean, right? I tried to kind of like, you know, be on some old, well, what worked for me will work for them, but it didn't. All I did was kind of like start to push my kids away a little bit, if that makes sense, because they're not as hard as we was. We were made to be hard. We were made to, take whatever and, be strong, shake it off. You can't be like that with these kids. So I would tell little Boosie, even though you old school, you got to kind of like meet her in the middle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of like have some compassion for what she going through, because feelings is real no matter who you're dealing with. You can't just be on some stone set in stone, I'm right, you wrong, because that's not the world we live in. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I would tell Boosie, and hopefully they can have a conversation. She seemed pretty hurt in that video. I know for me, I had all girls. I have a son, but I had all girls. So with girls, you got to learn to have some compassion. You got to learn to love on your kids a little bit more, especially when they girls. You got to give them a little more love than you would, I think, the boys. Even though I love all my kids the same, I do tend to spoil my girls a little bit, because you want the boys to be men, right? So I would advise them to sit down, talk. There's nothing never too bad to where you can't meet someone, respect that person's feelings, and get to the bottom of nonsense. Because at the end of the day, whatever she has to face God for, you do too. You know what I mean? Meaning sin. We all have sinned. No sin is different from the next, like I said, and it's not your job to judge your daughter. And like I said about her, you can't put yourself on your parents' level because your parents had you. So yeah, go talk to your daddy, and may your daddy talk to you. I hope you feeling better. This is going to be a short video today. I just seen that come across the timeline. I could kind of relate. As I said, I have a daughter that's a part of that community as well. However, when I found out, I was surprised, not shocked with the times we're living in. And you know what I did? I love my daughter even more. Still do. So to those of you out there who want to be super duper old school, we're living in a different time. So you have to give some leeway to that. You have to remember, this is not the 70s. This is not the 80s. We in 2024. Especially if you care about your kids, So y'all have a blessed Saturday. I'm thinking I'm going to be back with another video today. Peace.